Welcome to another episode of AM Whiskey. I'm Aaron, and this is Mark. And today we're going to take a look at a bottle that I've seen some places always kind of pass it by because it comes with a pretty hefty price tag. Usually when I see these, it's like $180 to $200 a bottle. And not knowing a lot about it, I pass it up. But thanks to Jim, we're going to get to try very old St. Nick. Looks like it's a summer rye cask strength whiskey.
Lot number 24. They're all supposedly small batches, 1 to 3 barrels. This is coming in at 118.7 proof, the year of the rye. So we're continuing our rye experimental series. I don't think we have an experimental series, but it's definitely the year of the rye.
It has been the year of rye, and like I said, I've seen these things some places. They're not everywhere. They seem to be kind of hard to find. They're always really expensive, which has kind of shied me away from it. But,
Yeah.
we were talking to Jim, and he was like, hey, why don't you give this bottle a try? Give us a review, see what you think of it.
Yeah, I think it was a great idea. We really appreciate it. Cheers to Jim. Thank you very much. Give it a nose, give it a swirl, and give it a taste. We'll give it a rating, see if we agree or disagree.
It's got a pretty nice nose.
It does. Like, when I see this bottle, it's like you either don't see it at the store or you see quite a few of them at the store. Does that guy look like me? Is my beard long enough? I don't know. My beard's looking pretty wacky today. This thing's curling all over the place.
It's definitely a rye. There's no doubt that this is a rye.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I found interesting is it does say that it's bottled by Old St. Nick Distillery.
Mm-hmm.
It does not say distilled by. It also does not mention where it might be distilled. Now, since it says that this is bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky, I believe by law, if it's distilled in a state other than that, it has to be disclosed.
It does smell like a traditional, high rye. It doesn't smell like one of those Old Forester, super sweet ryes. Like this smells way like more traditional.
This smells like a 95.5 MGP. And
yes, it does.
Just doing some quick searches, a lot of people said that this was sourced whiskey from unnamed distilleries in Indiana. I think they would have to disclose that if that was the case, but so I don't want to say that that's what it is. Based on the bottle, I'm going to say this was distilled somewhere in Kentucky. But again,
there's a note in it that makes me not think MGP, but it's like buried in the middle.
I mean, I'm getting very herbal to me. I am getting dill. I am getting some mint. It's just some of those classic rye notes that you get on a high rye. But
it smells really good.
It does smell good.
And it does smell like a traditional rye. It coats like the line around my glass. I mean, there's an actual gobbler line around my glass.
Okay. On that first sip, I did get a bunch of that herbal notes right up front, but then it went sweet towards the mid-back palate.
It does. And it gives you, this is the first sip of the day. I got a little Kentucky hug.
I did get a little bit of a hug.
But there's
nothing bad, and it's not very ethanol in the mouth. Mm-mm. You just get it as it goes down.
Oh.
It lets you know, hey, this is cask strength.
This is not crappy rye.
But yeah, I think there's no mistaking that this is a rye, but first sip, I'm going to say it's good.
See, the second sip up front, I almost had almost like a fruity note. And then it goes herbal on me.
I get a little cherry in there, but again, right up front, I get a lot of that herbal notes, some grassy notes. I got dill on the nose, but I'm not getting that on the palate. It is more just kind of grassy. Maybe parsley. But then a little bit of cherry, and then it goes to some of that sweet note, like a little bit of honey.
Is there? Yeah, there's something sweet in the back end. There's almost the second time, it was sweet, but there's almost a dark characteristic to it.
Yeah, a little bit. And I'm not getting a whole lot of oak on here.
No.
I'm not sure how old this is. It doesn't taste like it's all that old, maybe 6 to 8 years.
Give or take.
Give or take. I mean, it's a rye, doesn't necessarily, they tend to age a little bit quicker.
It's hard to like get wood on a rye. Like wood on a rye tends to be pretty damn old.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Here's the question. Is this $200 good?
With all the crazy good ryes that have come out this year, it's not. Like if I was to see this bottle like 2-3 years ago when there wasn't that many really good ryes in the market.
And this bottle could be 2 to 3 years old.
Right. Like back in the day when there wasn't, all these, Jack Daniels and everything else and Rare Breed Rye and all these bottles that are shelf available that are pretty slapping good. I think it was definitely much more rare find. Nowadays there's a ton of competition.
Well, let's just look. We just did a review on Little Book Chapter 8. It's the same price range.
No.
Well, it's the same price range.
It's not Little Book good.
But this is not as good as that Little Book. So
it is good.
But it's better than a lot of your average ryes. It's good. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would see this in the $80 to $100 range.
Well, see, I was going to say it drinks like $100 rye whiskey.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe a little bit more. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It does drink easy for its proof. I mean, for the first sip and drink of the day, like I'm 3 or 4 drinks in, and it's pretty drinkable.
Oh, yeah. It's full of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing bad about this whiskey. And if you like ryes, you will really like this whiskey.
Yeah.
And to you, it may be a $180 to $200 bottle. It's well crafted. There's no doubt about it.
What do you think on the finish? Do you find it really long lasting?
No, it's a little short.
It's a little short, I feel like. Yeah. I mean, it's great flavor throughout, but it dies off.
I mean,
30 seconds in, I still have a little aftertaste.
I still got a little bit of the spice up on the tip of my tongue, but all that sweetness that gets to the mid-back palate dissipates fairly quickly.
No, that's gone.
I wouldn't say it's a very long finish, but I mean, it's decent. I think if I'm going to give this a score, I'll go 7.2. I got you speechless.
No, I was going to say 7.6, but
all right, 7.6.
I was going to give it a little bit of props. It's good. It is good.
It's good. I think you can get comparable whiskeys for a lot cheaper.
Correct.
I mean, I think the Old Overholt 10. That's not a lot cheaper, but it's about half the price.
Yeah, and that's more rye, punchy rye, I feel like. I think 7.6, it's really good. It's not taking price into consideration whatsoever, because we don't do that around here. We just drink. No, I think it's in the 7s is where it belongs.
So, all right. Well, hope you enjoyed this review of Very Old Saint Nick.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what bottle review you'd like to see next. Until then,
keep the whiskey flowing.
Cheers. How come you're all out of your whiskey and I still got a few sips left?
Because I drink, sir.
I think you gave yourself a light pour.
Because I drink, sir.